colony of blue beauty snakes cohabited all year round, 2 males, 2 females. The males will sort of combat a little bit in the spring. They're cooler in the winter. They don't brumate, but their temperatures are much cooler. They're probably going to get up to, other than this basking spot, which is only LEDs, about 20 degrees through the winter. They'll probably maybe touch 24. Under the lamps, they'll feed all winter long, not as heavily. And then as the room itself warms up in the spring and the temperature in there increase, they'll kick in and breed. I do have day length in here. The day length is on timers, so it's shorter in the winter in the reptile room and longer in the summer. That probably has a lot to play with it, but they don't brumate and not feed. They're just cooler in the winter. Amazing snakes. They have a stack of hide boxes, so they can have almost one each, which they also use as cat litter trays if you put coir husk in them, which makes cleaning out easy because they are colubrids after all, so they do plenty of poo and eat plenty of food in the warmer months. Very easy to keep, and those boxes are probably only just over a foot long by maybe 10 inches and 8 inches high. And I'd say the biggest one of these is over 10 feet long, but very different from a 10-foot python. This enclosure is about 3 foot tall, 3 foot back, and not even 4 foot wide. And then those that follow my channel will know, last year and from now on, they spend the summer months, once the frosts have gone, in a much larger outdoor enclosure, heated and lit by the sun, fully bioactive. And they've thrived. One night it went down to 7 degrees or so in the spring, and it's got up to 35 in the heat wave of our 2-day heat wave we get here in the UK. And they just go down into a bigger hide box to keep cooler or warmer, and they climb up high and bask in the natural light of the sun coming through the wire mesh top. Beautiful animals. These guys haven't seen me for a while. I've been away, and they were a bit huffy and puffy. But to be honest, if you keep an adult blue beauty snake and it's very viv defensive, strikes at the glass as you go by, or actually strikes at you as well, firstly, don't be a pussy. Just pick that snake up. It's only going to make you bleed. It will soon stop that behaviour when you get it out, but it might never stop the viv defensiveness striking at movement as you walk by. I'll tell you what to do. Get another blue beauty of a similar size and cohab them. I think it's because then there's other movement going on at different times, not just as you walk past the enclosure. It will completely transform the character of what you think's a very viv defensive animal to one that will usually change immensely just because it's got activity and stimuli throughout the time. Just be aware, of course, if you do, look at that one's mouth where it hasn't realigned after striking at the camera. If you do cohab any snakes, haha, missed. Referee at feeding time. You don't want them both trying to swallow the same food item. Vietnamese blue beauty snakes. Highly recommended. Big, beautiful, interesting colubrid snakes. Being a potentially large colubrid, feed them. I'd feed them every 4 or 5 days while they're young, and then back off to once a week or so as they mature. But they need plenty of food to grow well. Lots of little feeds, certainly. You're grumpy. Certainly are better than trying to give them a huge blowout. They've got long skinny bodies. These guys might get 8-day-old cockerels, or I don't know, a couple of small to medium sized rats in a feed. But for sure, feed them well and they'll grow well. They won't get fat, don't worry about that. You can always back the food off as they mature, but while they're growing, feed them the food to grow. Don't be, I feed it once a week on a mouse brigade. That's just pet shop talk. Feed your snakes properly. Here he comes again. Here's the hide boxes, by the way. Here's the hide boxes, guys. entrance hole, coir in there, stack them up as much as you like. They can have a choice then. Mine have also got a big hollow bit of cork bark along here. Remember, the crucial thing with blue beauty snakes is don't cook them, give them a hot spot if you like, but it wants to be a cool end of around 20 to 22 degrees. Hot spot, 28 is absolutely fine. Cooler rather than too hot for this species.